It's time for Media Meltdowns, and even though President Trump has pulled off the impossible, ending the war between Israel and Hamas and securing the return of all of the hostages, there are plenty of lefties and Democrats with so much TDS they cannot bring themselves to thank the president who did this. Former President Barack Obama posted about it on X and refused to mention Donald Trump's name. His post was just all waffle. It was so pathetic, even CNN has slammed him for it.
President Obama put out this post talking about the peace deal and the prospects of it, and Don Jr. responded to it. I'll finish it for you. Thank you, Donald Trump. Honestly, it's not unfair to say if President Obama's going to write a whole post about a peace deal, maybe he should acknowledge the president that brokered it.
It's not often you have CNN agreeing with Don Jr., but pay attention to the Democrats who refuse to credit the president right now. I mean, Elizabeth Warren also wrote a post on X that was just as ridiculous, refusing to say Donald Trump's name, and she clearly missed the memo. If there's a time that you should probably give the president credit, it's maybe when he ends wars. Even Hillary Clinton praised the president for the peace deal.
It's a really significant first step, and I really commend President Trump and his administration, as well as Arab leaders in the region, for making the commitment to the 20-point plan and seeing a path forward for what's often called the day after.
Now, Kamala Harris was asked about it, and even though you can see it in her eyes, it pains her, but she credits the president for his incredible work in bringing peace to the Middle East.
I don't think that we should hold and credit where it's due. I mean, first of all, let me say about that deal, I really do hope it becomes real and that the hostages are out, that Gaza is no longer being treated with such brutality of force, that aid goes in. And I commend the people who have been a part of this process. I commend the Qataris, the Egyptians, and the president.
There it is. Joining us now is James Morrow. James, thank you so much for joining us again. I mean,
pleasure.
There are still Democrats like Elizabeth Warren, Barack Obama, who have no interest in thanking the president for his incredible work. And even Kamala Harris does right there, but you can tell she really, really does not want to. And are you surprised?
Well, I'm not surprised at all, but there's a couple of more points that need to be made about this. I mean, number one, just watching Kamala Harris there, think about the bullet that the world, not just the U.S., but the world dodged there, right? Because if she had won that presidential election, she would be president. And I'll tell you what, those hostages, they'd still be in captivity.
100%.
This peace deal would not have happened. And the United States would be pursuing a retread, a third term, or really a fourth term, of the Obama legacy of a failed foreign policy. And that's why I thought the Barack Obama tweet that you referenced before was so interesting. Because what has happened now, and what Donald Trump started with the Abraham Accords in his first term of office, and then has continued with this peace deal here, has been a complete and entire refutation of the Barack Obama foreign policy. That foreign policy, let's not forget what that was about. That foreign policy was about reorienting the entire Middle East and strengthening Iran. That's what the Iran deal was all about. Iran, the big sponsor of terrorism, of Hamas around the world, was given more power because they wanted to weight power away from America's historic ally, Israel. It was an insane idea, but that's what they did. So no wonder Barack Obama is so churlish about this. His life's work of reorienting America from Tel Aviv to Tehran has all come to nothing. And peace has been achieved, and he has been proved completely wrong. So no wonder he's so shirty about it.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on there, James. And hasn't it been amazing to watch the outpouring of love from Israelis for President Donald Trump? Because as you say, if Kamala Harris was elected, those hostages, well, they would still be in tunnels in Gaza. If it wasn't for this president, peace would not have been achieved. He was able to take out the Iran nuclear facilities, something that presidents have been talking about for years and years. I mean, Trump's deal-making efforts have been incredible. But back to the Israelis and how they are just showing so much love and respect for Donald Trump. Some have been waving the American flag just to express their gratitude. Watch this.
Why are you carrying an American flag? To thank President Trump who forced the Hamas and Israeli government to sign for ending that war and bringing up all the kidnapped.
What does it feel like today?
Very big emotion. I cannot do anything at home. So I put my shirt and came, so I was asking myself which flag I will take. So I took the American flag to thank from the beat of my heart to President Trump and to American people.
Oh, James, it's just amazing watching 20 living hostages be reunited with their families. I was glued to the TV last night as the president was addressing Parliament in Israel. But it's been amazing also to watch other countries and other leaders try and take credit for Donald Trump's work. There was a UK MP trying to say that the UK was really significant in this. And here in Australia, our Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, also in a roundabout way tried to take credit for the peace deal too. She did thank Donald Trump. But listen to this.
You know, the coalition really has been out of step with the international community for such a long time. Remember, the coalition opposed a ceasefire that President Trump himself supported. Remember, the coalition has not understood the way in which the international community, that different countries of the world have come together over a year to try and work how it is that we create the conditions for the pathway to peace.
So James talking about the international community and Australia's contribution to what the international community did. It certainly was not to help Israel.
Well, you know, that was an extraordinary piece of rewriting of history by Penny Wong, who clearly wants this to be the Penny Wong peace plan, right? But of course it's not. Look, you know, she's trying to stick the boot into the coalition, and I thought it was Labor that always says, oh, the other side is trying to score political points here. Well, I mean, that's precisely what she was doing in that circumstance there. But this idea that, you know, this coalition of nations recognizing Palestine somehow created the conditions for peace is completely wrong-headed. This is exactly the sort of expert class foreign policy thinking that has made this conflict, not just, you know, the most recent war between Hamas and Israel, but the war between Hamas and Israel that really arguably started, you know, more than 20 years ago, and really everything that's bedeviled the Middle East since the formation of the State of Israel, that has all been protracted by that sort of foreign policy thinking. And it is completely wrong-headed. What Donald Trump did here is to overturn the entire thing, rewrite the rule book, and recognize something that for people like me who've been traveling to the Middle East, I've been in and out of the Middle East really since the 1990s, you know, and you talk to the people in Arab countries and you realize, you know, Trump realized very quickly there's actually not a huge amount of support for the Palestinian cause as a cause, except as a way to, you know, use it as a lever against the West. And that's what that was all about. He broke that link. He realized, he said, guys, you can make a lot more money and you can have a much better, more peaceful life if you just give that up, cut your ties, stop supporting terrorism, stop supporting Hamas. And, you know, Qatar, well, there was a bit of a stick there with Netanyahu and that strike, you know, but Qatar realized they were in some jeopardy. Iran copped it, of course, the worst with the strike at Fordo, and that was spoken about a lot last night. And it was just miraculous that and what that did. But also other nations, you know, Turkey, NATO ally, wants F-35s, and Trump said, well, little problem with that, you know, and so they suddenly stopped their support for Hamas. Egypt, terrified of the conflict spilling over into Sinai. Hamas was isolated. None of these foreign policy geniuses, no Penny Wong genius ever thought, hey, why don't we cut Hamas's support off rather than acting like the people who are supporting Hamas will be supporting Hamas forever? That's what changed here, and that's what's so important.
Yeah, you're exactly right, James. I think his deal making has been exceptional to get all the Arab nations on board, to cut that deal with Qatar just overnight, really, and then to take out Iran's nuclear facilities, really weaken Hamas to this point. It's been incredible. Absolute masterclass by Donald Trump, a historic achievement. Now,
if you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.